the best game plan strategy for 2025? What is going on, my real estate family? My name is Wandile Mr. W. I work very closely with real estate agents, helping them get more buyers and sellers utilizing AI and digital marketing attraction. So guys, I am always bombarded with this question around this time of the year. What is the best strategy for me to get buyers and sellers in my area? What is the best strategy for lead generation? What is the best strategy for me to get more clients, etc., etc.? Guys, today's video is literally going to blow your minds away because I have seen hands down. I used to give away a lot of tactics and strategies to a lot of my clients and real estate agents, and it still didn't work. Even though they would apply it for a week or two, they would stop doing it. Or they would apply it for a month and they would stop doing it. And I realized that, okay, the tactics, there's nothing wrong with the tactics because the tactics work if you utilize it. There's an underlying problem that I've noticed many real estate agents have, and I'm going to walk you through exactly the things that you need to start focusing on if you want to succeed in 2025. If you guys just listen very closely with an open mind and you follow everything I'm about to tell you guys in the next couple of minutes as we dive into my laptop, there's no reason why in 2025 you will not be wildly successful. These are all the years that I've culminated working with over 700 agents, figuring out exactly what makes those who are successful versus those who aren't successful. And everything that I've covered in today's video is going to walk you through exactly why you are probably not successful or why you always go through inconsistencies. Some months you do well, some months you don't do well, and then some months or some periods of time you don't do well, or some periods of time you find yourself succeeding. I'm going to walk you through exactly what that could be the case or why that could be the case. But I will leave you with one quote before we dive into my laptop. Success doesn't happen to you. Success happens because of you. And I'm going to dive into it in the next couple of minutes. Let's dive in. All right, guys. So let us begin with this game plan strategy. And what I wanted to do things a little bit more different. You know, what you're going to notice, and this is the reason why I wanted to put this into place. Guys, no matter what tactic you get, no matter what strategy you get, it will not work until you focus on these core principle foundations. Okay, on these pillars that I'm going to mention and that I'm going to speak to you guys about today. All right. One thing you need to realize and understand, okay, every single strategy or tactic works, okay? There's somebody right now in your area who's cold calling and it's working for them. There's somebody right now in your area who's using flyers and it's working for them. There's somebody in your area who's doing door knocking or road shows, and it's working for them, okay? So if it's working for them, but it's not working for you, then what is the issue? Why is it not working for you, but it's working for them? Okay, and this is exactly what I'm going to be covering in today's game plan strategy for you to get more sellers. Because, guys, at the end of the day, tactics and strategies change. But one thing that will remain for years and years and years, guys, is human psychology. All right? The things that get people to buy, the things that get people's attention, the thing that gets people wanting to work with you, the thing that gets you focused, the things that gives you energy, all those things, guys, all those things, all right, is all human nature, is all human psychology. And once you can understand the bare bones and the basics of human nature and human psychology, this is what's going to help you. All right. So with the principles I'm going to be discussing today, it's going to be a mixture. It's going to be a mixture of principles that you should be looking into, all right, that you should be asking yourself, and principles that you should be focusing on yourself, right, as a person. Because as I said, tactics and strategies change, but one thing that remains, human psychology, human nature. Once you guys understand that, not only about your clients, but more about yourself as well, then no matter what strategy you use, it's going to work. The reason why I'm doing this is because I know some of you guys don't have enough money maybe to join my program, or maybe you guys don't have enough money to spend money on advertising. So it's like, it would be a disservice for me to give you a strategy where maybe you can't even take action on it right now because maybe you don't have the budget, maybe you don't have the money. Okay? So I'm going to give you something that you can use regardless of whatever you use. But there are questions that you also need to be asking yourself. Because as I said, somebody right now in your area is cold calling and they're killing it. But is it effective? Okay. Is it going to help them reach their goal a lot faster and quicker? Is it taking up more time? All those things, guys, are very important. Yes, it may work, but if they have to work 10 times as hard just to get one mandate, when you can use a strategy or a tactic where you are working literally less hours than they are, and it's helping you get the same result, then that's what you need to start weighing. And this is the whole reason why I've got this game plan here. I want you guys to start thinking better. Because if you guys can really start thinking better, okay, you start to take different actions. When you take different actions, your attitude, your behavior changes, and you start to get different results. Guys, if you eat McDonald's every single day and you work out, do you think that's going to be a change to your body? No. But if you start eating more protein, all right, if you keep the right calories, if you put the same amount of time and effort into those exact same workouts, the only difference is that your diet has changed. Is your body going to change? Yes. But now, if you eat right, if you work out correctly, put the same amount of time and effort and energy into your workouts, but now you're sleeping better, right? You're sleeping for 7-8 hours a day. Don't you think you're going to get better results? Of course you are. So the whole purpose of this, guys, is to give you everything step by step so that you can improve through every facet. Yes, if you work out and you eat bad food, it's better than not working out at all and people just eating bad food. But if you can remove the bad food and then start to eat well, you get a little bit better. But then if you work out, you eat better, you sleep better, that's where you become more efficient. And that is the whole core focus of what I'm going to discuss. All right, cool, guys. Let us begin. So first things first, one of the core principles, and this is, I would say this is one of the actual most important things ever. Okay, this is how I want you guys to start thinking different so you can start to do things differently and get different results, is you need to start looking at speed. Okay, that's one core principle I want you guys to start looking into, speed. So when I say speed, I really mean more from the perspective of, is whatever I'm doing or is whatever tactic or strategy I'm utilizing, is it faster? Is it going to help me move at a rapid rate? Because if it's not going to help me move at a rapid rate, then I'm going to struggle. That's just the way that it is, guys. So personally for me, if we're looking at speed, and each principle is going to be different. Some will have a little bit of an idea on things that you should look into. Some of them will just explain a little bit more in terms of what the principle is. But for me, speed is all about, can I use technology and artificial intelligence to help me move a lot faster and quicker, as opposed to me having to do things myself because I'm limited. If I only have 2 hands, right? If I only have 2 hands, there's only so much I can do. But if I can use technology and AI, right, where they can multiply myself times 10, times 20, times 100 to make me move faster and quicker, is that going to help me get to my goal a lot faster and quicker? Hell yes. Guys, if you want to get to Cape Town right now, I think it's about 1,200 Ks away, all right? There's different vehicles, there's different modes of transportation that we can utilize. And each different modes of transportation will help us get there either quicker or slower. If I'm walking to Cape Town, I only have 2 feet, okay? I only have 2 feet, so I can, if I'm walking to Cape Town, how long is that going to take me? But if I take a plane, how short is it going to be? So that's how I want you guys to start thinking. Speed, okay? That should be your core focus of 2025. What can I use that's going to help me move a lot faster and quicker? Technology and AI is literally the best things that you guys can start utilizing to help you move there a lot faster and quicker. You can still cold call, you can still go door knocking, you can still use all these traditional aspects, but is it going to be the effective, and will it have the same speed? All right, as opposed to utilizing technology and AI. If you're cold calling 10 people in an hour versus an AI robot that can cold call at 10,000 people in 1 hour, can you see in terms of speed and result how quicker, or who's going to get better and faster results? The AI, because it's not relying on itself. It's not man-made. Okay, what I mean that it's not human. Right? We don't have 2 hands. It doesn't have 2 hands. It's got multiple different hands that can help you get there a lot faster and quicker. So think about that, guys. really start to think about speed, because many agents don't think this way, and I really want you guys to start thinking differently. Once you guys can start thinking different, that's when your results start to change. The next core focus is volume. Okay, when I say volume, and when I'm speaking about volume is, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So I remember when I used to send out different flyers, by my business flyers. This is back then, guys, trying to grow my business. Guys, I would literally send out about 100 flyers, maybe 150 flyers every week. And every now and then I would get some people who would reach out and say, hey, I saw your flyers. Can you give me more information about the company? And then it would never really lead anywhere. It would take me about a full month of sending flyers and then people reaching out and say, hey, I wanted to learn a little bit more about your company. That would maybe result in about 3 or 4 meetings. From those 3 or 4 meetings, I'd sign one client. But guys, it took me about, I'd say 400 flyers for me to get one client. Okay, 400 flyers for me to get one client. And if I had to really look at the numbers, I would say I got maybe 5-6 people reaching out to me every single week. So if we had to look at a number, that's 25 responses. But then from those 25 responses, I would only get a few meetings from that, which would result into one client. So that for me was like, I was like, man, this flyer stuff isn't working. All right. So then when I got in touch with my mentor told me, he's like, no, you don't want to do that. You literally want to double up. You want to 10x that. You want to 20x that. So he was like, instead of sending 400 flyers, for example, a month, you need to send 4,000 flyers a month. And that's exactly what I did. Then I sent 4,000 flyers a month. How many clients did I get? I got 12 clients that month because I 10x'd it. All right. Now here's what's very interesting. I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is amazing. And he's like to me, no, it's not enough. Do more. And I was like, how? And he's like, instead of sending 4,000 flyers a month, send 4,000 flyers a week. Now I'm sending 4,000 flyers a week. And that's now, I had to even stop sending flyers because I was so inundated with so many customers, right? Because if it took me 4,000 flyers to get 10 clients, if I'm sending 4,000 flyers a week, how many clients is I getting a week? You do the numbers, you do the maths, 10. Average get about 10 to 11 to 12 per week. And even in that process, I was like, man, I'm getting so many clients. I had to stop. And I was like to myself, damn, if I could send 4,000 flyers a day, how many clients would I get? So, guys, if you want to start growing, you need to start thinking in terms of volume. Okay, but the first point should be starting off with 10x, and then you work from 10 multiples. So you first start off with 10x, then you go 100x, then you go to 1,000x. But now, as I said, guys, here's what's interesting. If you're cold calling, is it going according to speed? If you're not using technology or AI, no, it's not. All right. So if you are cold calling yourself, you can only dial a certain amount of numbers every single day, for example. All right. Which means that if you want to 10x your volume, what is that going to kill? It's going to kill your time if you're doing it yourself. So there's going to be a limit. You can't really 10x that, because if you, let's say, for example, you're dialing 30 numbers a day. If you had to 10x that, that's 300 numbers a day. It's fairly doable. But now if you had to 10x 300 numbers into 3,000 numbers, you can't do that. There's a certain limit. But if you're using tech and AI, you can definitely double up on the volume. So what I'm trying to put here, guys, is that your core focus for 2025 is what strategies can I utilize that's going to give me speed, where I can also double it up with volume. If you're using AI to call your leads, for an example, right? There's AI agents that can cold call 10,000 people in one day. That is speed, and you're also taking the box of volume. All right. If you are running ads, for example, compared to sending flyers, if you send off 1,000 flyers and it took you a month to do that, when you're running ads to the exact same audience, but now they see you on social media, you can get 10,000 people to see your ad in one day. You can get 10,000 people to see your ad in 1 hour. Can you see, guys, when you start looking at speed and volume differently, the way that I'm explaining it to you guys, things really start to kick things into gear. Like, damn, okay, so if I can look at speed and volume for 2025, I know for a fact I can start getting results. Guys, if you just look at these two principles, you will grow a lot faster and a lot quicker if you're using the right principles. Okay. Now, here's also another core focus you should be focusing on. Attention. Why? Because, guys, if you are not building attention, if you're not building your personal brand, you will not exist. Because now what's happening is that you have a lot of business owners, sellers, buyers, people in general. All right, guys, we spend an awful amount of time on these phones. Okay, so if we're spending an awful amount of time on these phones, guess what happens? The people who are dominating in the online space, people who we constantly see online, guess what? We start to build a parasocial relationship. What is a parasocial relationship? A parasocial relationship is when you know, like, and trust someone, an online figure, person that you look at online on a day-to-day basis. You know, like, and trust them so much, you feel like you have a relationship with this person. You feel like you know them. You feel like they are your friend, but they're not. They don't even know that you exist, but you know that they exist. You understand the mannerisms. You can impersonate them. You know what they like. You know what they typically do on a day-to-day basis. You understand them. And because of that, you have this relationship with them. But it's one-sided because you know them, they don't know you. Okay? Now, what is so powerful about parasocial relationships? The power behind parasocial relationships is that the person who has the most attention is the person who's going to make the most money. It's as simple as that. Literally, guys, it's as simple as that. Why are the Kardashians billionaires? Because they know how to get attention. If you know how to get attention, you can monetize it. I know what I'm explaining right now is so simple. You guys get it. So why aren't you guys doing it? It's literally that simple. So the agent who has the most attention in your market area is the agent who will make them exactly. You'll make the most money because you are known. I don't think you guys understand how powerful it is to be the most well-known agent in your area. When somebody thinks real estate, they should think of you, not your competitor. The reason why your competitor is winning is because they've been in the area for multiple years. So because they are the preferred agent, because they are the most well-known agent. Guys, it's not about who's the best now. It's about who's the most well-known. It's as simple as that. My client literally only has 1.5 years experience in real estate and she's crushing it in Centurion. She's killing other agents who've been in the area for so many years. Why? Because it's not because she's the best. It's because she's the most well-known. You guys might say it's unfair. We don't give a damn. We want to focus in terms of what helps and what works, and attention is what the best way to go. So that should be a core focus for 2025, building attention by having a personal brand. All right. Then the next core focus is the vehicle. Now this right here, guys, is important because I remember when I started my business and I was doing all these different sorts of things and nothing worked out for me for 2 years. And then I started working with Sam Ovens and my business went all up in 2 months. Why? It's because for 2 years I focused on the wrong vehicle. For 2 years, guys, I focused on the wrong vehicle. It took time, was hard to produce volume, and I wasn't getting any attention. The right vehicle, guys, will give you speed, volume, and attention all at the same time. And if you look at what we do, that is our core focus. If you're running online AI ads to your right market, that is speed, volume, and attention all at once. But if you're cold calling, is that the right vehicle? No, it's slow. You can't produce sufficient volume, and you're not really getting the right attention. So what I mean by vehicle, guys, it's really working on the right thing. Many of you guys are working hard, but you're working hard on the wrong thing. Guys, if a cleaner spends 12 hours a day cleaning windows, they're working hard. Are they going to become successful? Hell no. So when you hear through social media, oh, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. Yeah, I can work hard. I can clean the whole entire building, right? I can clean Sandton City's office towers windows myself. I can do that. I can work hard, put in 12 hours a day to finally get it done. But the person who is inside that Sandton City office towers at the top, who's a CEO of a company, makes more money than I am and he works way less. To get to the point of him being a CEO, he had to work hard on the right things. Guys, there are 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds who do exactly what I do. Working with agents in America, working with agents in Canada. And they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. And they work less hours. It's because they're working on the right thing. And they're also working on the right market. And that's the reason why they are where they are, because they have the right vehicle and they have the right market. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is if you're not going to work on the right thing, you're going to struggle for as long as you don't have that awareness to start changing your vehicle. So change your vehicle, guys. Now, the next core focus, guys, for 2025 is mindset. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been learning about mindset from your trainings, but I'm going to really simplify this for you guys as much as possible. Because if you guys can just focus on these 3 things I'm going to cover right now, you will understand the power of mindset and the reason why you have to work on it every single day. Guys, mindset is not something, it's not a nice to have. I've noticed that people will look at mindset as, oh, okay, this is a great optional thing. No, it's not an optional thing, guys. It's something that you work on every single day. It's something that you work on every single day. So there's 3 things you must remember, guys. If you really want to grow in 2025, okay, there's 3 things that you need to be looking at. Your skill sets, your character traits, and your beliefs. That is really all mindset is about, guys. Skill sets, character traits, and beliefs. The people who are killing it in your industry, they have better skill sets than you. They have better character traits, or they are more focused on, they have more consistent character traits. I think that's the best way to put it. All right. And they have more, I would say that they believe completely different, or let me rather put it this way, they have completely inverted beliefs compared to you. And I'll give you an example. All right. So a top agent, all right, a top agent is really good with sales. That's a skill set. A top agent is really good with sales. They're good at communication. They're good at negotiation. They're good at networking. Those are skill sets that they've built. The beauty around skill sets is that you can just learn the tactic. Guys, the nice thing about skill set is that it's all tactic. It's all strategy. Skill sets are literally one of the easiest things you can learn, guys. Guys, if I gave you a book on how to sell properly and you just use everything in there, it works if you just build up the skill set. So why is it that people struggle in real estate? It's because they're not aware that they suck. They don't have the right skill sets. But if you are just aware and you figure out exactly what skill sets that you're deficient in, you can just improve on that. So if you're struggling with sales, just learn how to do better sales. And guess what? You become better. So skill sets, I would say, is one of the easiest things that you can do. Where people struggle is character traits and beliefs. When I say character traits, now here's a good example. Let's say you suck at sales. So you're like, okay, I'm going to take the sales course. I'm going to take the sales training. Let's say the sales training is 12 weeks long. All right. But it's self-study. The first 2 weeks you go on and you listen and you excited, you amped up and you go according to the plan and the strategy and utilizing it. 3rd week, you slack. 4th week, you don't watch the videos anymore. 5th week, you disappear. Why? Because you lack the discipline, character trait. You lack the consistency, character trait. So for many of you guys, the reason why you don't have the right skill sets is because you lacking character traits. You lacking the right character traits. Guys, people who are successful are very adamant on making sure that they are relentless in ensuring that their character traits are consistent. Consistency. The reason why many of you guys are not where you want to be is because you're not consistent. You do things for a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a couple of days, then you stop. If that's you, the reason why you're not successful is because you need to work on your character trait, which is consistency. A lot of you guys are not disciplined. You do things when you're motivated, and when you're not motivated, you don't do them anymore. It's not that the world is against you. It's not that, some person above is controlling your life. No, you lacking the character trait. Okay? Hence why I was saying that character traits and beliefs are a lot more harder because it's more internal. It's not tactics. Guys, there's no tactic for you to improve your discipline. You just have to be disciplined. There's no tactic for you to, be consistent. You just have to be consistent. Hence why, as I said, guys, mindset is really a mind F, right? And a mind F-U-C-K, because most of the times you have to go against who you are so that you can improve yourself. You have to kill your own self to be someone different. And for many people, that's difficult because the person that you are is like an actual person, right? Just think about your inner self, right? That inner self knows who you are. It's been it's been with you through your good times, your bad times. So now when you try to change, now when you try to become someone different because you want to become successful, because you know that your inner self is not successful. Because if your inner self was successful, you'd become successful. But what's holding you back is that inner self. So now you have to kill that inner self and you have to build another person. You have to recreate another inner self. Your current inner self gets threatened by that. So what happens? When you try to change, it does everything in its power to hold you back. So when you are consistent for 2 weeks, it starts to see that, hey, this person really wants to change. I can see that this person is now building a new inner self and it's no longer giving me attention. So what does that inner self do? It starts to whisper things in your ear. No, why are you working out this morning? No, why are you cold calling now? No, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It starts to increase you start to get more anxious. You start to get more anxiety. Life starts to crumble around you. Why? Because your inner self wants you to stay the same. So once you guys understand that, the core key here is not to listen to what your inner self is telling you, but to believe that you are no longer that person. Now you've recreated a new person. You've recreated new beliefs. You've recreated and you've instilled all these new character traits. And all it takes, guys, is 100 days for you to create a new person. And then your environment starts to change. I don't want to go too woo-woo here, but that's literally what it is, guys. You have to recreate your inner self. You have to kill the current inner self that you have right now and recreate a new person. Because your current inner self is not going to get you the success that you want. Success doesn't happen to you. Success happens because of you. So if you are not successful, it's because of your inner self, your current inner self. So if you want to change, you have to change your inner self. And that's where many agents are stuck. Your character traits and your beliefs are what holding you back. I'll give you an example of beliefs. You need to create 3 pieces of video content every single day. How do you guys react? Oh my God, 3 pieces of video? How am I going to do that? I don't have time. I'm nervous to put myself in front of the camera. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Can you see? Who's speaking? It's your inner self, because your inner self has never done that before. Your inner self is insecure. Your inner self is worried about who's going to judge you. So now you have to recreate another person who doesn't give a damn about what people think. You have to create another person who doesn't give a damn about, how people are going to judge you. You have to create another person who loves spending time helping people, who's got a different perspective. You have to create a new inner self who knows how to prioritize themselves, who knows how to prioritize their business, and not look at it from themselves, but look at how can I help people instead of being selfish and worried about my insecurities. Can you see, guys, how mindset, people don't really explain this stuff from a mindset perspective, and that's what's holding many of you guys back. So it's very important to believe or to understand the workings of your mind, because if you can understand the workings of your mind, guys, then you can easily do the right content or utilize the right tactics and the strategies. You can operate at speed. You can operate at high volumes. You can do the things that you need to do to build your attention from your personal brand. You can focus on the right things that's holding you guys back, guys. It's not skill sets, because a lot of you guys have been taught on skill sets. Some of you guys are really good at sales, but the reason why you're not growing is because your character traits and your beliefs. And that's why it's important to fix this. If you're like, what is this inner self that one is talking about? That's bullcrap. Can you see? That's a belief. Whereas someone who is a top agent understood that I had to kill my inner self for me to be someone different. They may not have consciously thought it, but 9 times out of 10, they had to change in order for them to get to where they are. They didn't just wake up a top agent. They didn't wake up a top agent, guys. They had to build themselves to be a top agent. Hence why I said success doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you. And once you guys can understand that concept, you guys will grow. Anyways, I don't want to go on too many tangents here. Next thing, guys, environment. Your environment is contagious. What do I mean by that? If you are surrounded by losers in your environment, that is contagious. You will also become a loser. You know what they say? You're the sum average of the 5 people that you hang around with. Yeah, the 5 people that you hang around with are losers. That is contagious. You also become a loser. Why do you think winners don't like hanging around losers? It's because it's contagious. Guys, they did a study at Harvard, right? They did a study at Harvard where they noticed, where they picked up, and this is what they mentioned, that if your best friend is obese, there's a 47% chance that you'll become obese. And here's what's even crazier. If your friend's friend, right? Let's say you're not even aware of your friend's best friend, okay? If your friend's best friend is obese, you have a 20% chance of becoming obese. So your environment, guys, shapes you tremendously. And many people don't really understand the power behind this. Think about this for a second, guys. Look at your current environment. If you are not where you want to be, you need to assess the people around you. And not just people around you, but also assess where are you spending most of your time. If you're spending most of your time on social media and looking at content that's negative, looking at content people are complaining, looking at content where people are on lack, guess what? You are consistently feeding your mind, right? You are consistently surrounded by negativity. You're consistently surrounded by lack. You're consistently surrounded by things that will hold you back. And many of you guys don't understand how your environment is contagious, guys. So what you need to do, your core focus for 2025, especially if you want to get more sellers, right? If you really want to crush it, because remember, as I said, guys, I can give you tactics. But if you're not going to work on these things, if you don't understand the intangible things, guys, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow. If you don't understand the power of your environment, you're not going to grow. So if you want to get more sellers, you want to start hanging around agents who are killing it, agents who are really, who are focused on improvement, agents who are really getting sellers all the time, agents who have no issue getting stock. Why? Because once you start to hang around with those people, your mindset starts to shift because you're like, damn, all these people are getting stock so easily. It's so easy for them to get stock. What does that do to you? Your mind and your thoughts start to change. Now you're moving away from lack and you're thinking about, damn, so it is possible for me to get sellers. These people are just have it so easy, right? Getting sellers for them is easy. Your mindset starts to change. And once your mindset starts to change, guess what happens? You move away from the old self, your old inner self, and now you start to build a new inner self that starts to believe that getting sellers is easy, which now means you're going to start operating at speed, volume, building your attention and using the right vehicle for you to get to where you need to be, and also building your mindset, all because of your environment. Guys, this alone, if you can control or curate your environment in the right place, it'll be so contagious that all these things here will help you get to where you need to be without even realizing it. If you guys had to hang around with me and my business partner and my team members, you would automatically catch that winning Our wins will be contagious to you because now you're surrounding yourself with us. You are now learning what we think about, what we believe in. Yeah, it might be conflicting for the first couple of weeks, but the more time you spend with us, the more time you start to think like us, the more you start to change, the more you start to change your beliefs, the more you start to build out the right character traits. It's literally your environment, guys. If you want to get more sellers, screw the tactics, change your environment. Hang around with winners. The conversation is completely different. Next thing, compound interest, guys. This one is very important as well, okay? You need to start thinking long term. Guys, if your partner was pregnant, or if you're pregnant and you're pregnant for 1 month, would you be surprised if your baby comes out in full form after 1 month? Or would there be something wrong with that? There'll be something wrong with that, right? Because it takes about 9 months, right? 8 or 9 months, okay? For your baby to formulate in your body, right? To grow, okay? It's a process. It takes about 9 months, okay? But in that 9-month period, okay, it grows rapidly, faster and quicker. I think around the 3rd, 4th, or the 5th month, I think it's around the 2nd trimester, that's where your baby starts to grow a lot faster and quicker than it was in the 1st trimester, okay? So the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is a lot of you guys want to plant a seed today and then you dig it up tomorrow and wonder why it's not a tree. A lot of you guys are looking for quick results. Guys, ain't nothing in life quick. There's no such thing as quick results. If you're using the right vehicle, if you're using speed, volume, you're building your personal brand by attention, you have the right mindset and you're in the right environment, you will get to where you want to be a lot quicker and faster, but it's not going to happen overnight. Stop looking for easy and quick hacks, guys. There's no such thing. And what I noticed is that this strategy or long-term thinking is synonymous with success and the people who are winning, because they understand that there's a certain time frame for you guys to get to where you need to be. And for them, their core focus is ensuring that they're consistently planting seeds. They're consistently watering their seeds. They're consistently nurturing. And that's why they think long term. Today's results, guys, are a product of what happened 6 months ago. What you're getting right now is a product of what happened 6 months ago. And I'm not just talking about getting sellers and buyers. I'm just speaking about everything in general. If you eat bad, if I eat McDonald's today, guys, I'm fairly fit. Not fairly fit, I'm very ripped, by the way. If I eat McDonald's today, it's not going to make a massive change in my body. But if I eat McDonald's every single day over 6 months, then that will make a massive change, right? I'm going to develop a gut. That gut didn't happen overnight. Hence why I'm saying compound interest, guys. So what I'm saying here is that your core focus of 2025 should be focusing on thinking long term. Stop thinking short term. Let's cut that out. Okay? Cut that out. You'd be so surprised in terms of how quickly and how fast you grow if you start to think long term, especially for 2025. Don't look at getting 10 mandates in Jan. Look at building or having the character traits, having the beliefs of someone who makes 10 mandates a month, but you focus on building that to a point where you start to get more than that, right? By Feb, March, June, July. And then before you know it, 10 mandates a week is a prerequisite for you, or you start to get 10 mandates a week purely because you start to think long term. And then lastly, PMH, guys, which is essentially, put this out here, positive mental habits. So what do I mean by positive mental habits? Guys, we are all inherently negative. We're all inherently negative. Why? Because we've been programmed to be negative. All right? We've been programmed to be negative. Ever since we were young, you look at the news, negativity, newspapers, negativity. Our parents having conversations is all about lack, negativity, how there's not enough, how things are hard, competition, yada, 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 excuses, complaining, victim mentality, all that stuff, right? So we've been programmed to become negative or to be negative. So what I'm saying here, guys, is many people understand the power of positivity, but the problem, and this is what I've noticed, is that they are positive for 30 minutes and they go back to being negative. Right? Or they find it hard to be positive. The reason why, guys, it's hard to be positive is because you didn't earn it. My mentor told me, it's like, Wandile, the reason why you find it hard to be positive all the time is because you're not earning that positivity. If you're eating McDonald's every single day and you know you should be eating McDonald's every day, you know you should be working out, and you start to think positive after eating a meal at McDonald's, you can't think positive because you just did a negative habit. All right? You just did a negative thing, right? So what is that doing? It's messing up your thoughts. And if it messes up your thoughts, it messes up your behavior and messes up your actions. So if you want to undo that, and if you want to start being more positive, because remember, guys, winners are positive. But how are winners positive? How do winners consistently stay in a positive mental attitude? All right? How do winners stay in that state? Number one, they do things that are hard but benefit them in the long run. For example, working out. If you work out, I don't care who you are, guys, you can enter the gym feeling negative. But if you work your ass off in the gym, when you leave that gym, how do you feel? How do you feel? Exactly, you feel good. You feel good. Why? Because you did something that was so hard, right? And then you all of a sudden did that task and you feel good about it. How many of you guys have done something that you didn't want to do and you did it and you're like, hey, this wasn't so bad, and you felt good afterwards because you did something difficult? Guys, your self-worth is in direct correlation to your self-investment. Many of you guys are not working on yourselves, and that's the reason why it's hard for you guys to stay positive. You're not working on yourselves, guys. So how can you be positive if you're not working on yourselves? Hence what I was saying, guys, you earn positivity. It doesn't just come to you. You earn positivity. When you work out, you are earning that positivity for you to feel good. When you're working out, that is a positive mental habit. That's a positive mental habit. You start to feel better. When you eat good food, when you eat healthy food, what happens? It gives you more energy. It makes you feel good, right? That is a positive mental habit. All right, or that is a positive habit, right? Going to gym is a positive habit, all right? How does it feel when you help someone and they are so happy that you had assisted them? You feel good, right? That is a positive habit. So when you're helping sellers, when you're engaging with sellers and you're giving them value, all you're doing is you're giving. What is that? That's a positive habit. How does that make you feel? Makes you feel good. Positivity is earned, guys. You don't just think positive and stay positive. You stay positive by earning it. So how do you earn it? By taking in positive habits. How do you start off with positive habits? You need to partake in positive mental habits first. You need to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to work out and it's going to be good. And then you go and do it. Everything that you know that makes you feel good, you need to start focusing on that, because that's the only way you can start constructing a positive mental habit attitude. Because if you don't, you're always going to stay negative. And if you always stay negative, guess what happens? You're always going to complain. You're always going to feel down. You're always going to feel like shit. If you eat bad food, if you don't keep promises to yourself, if you don't keep your very own word, how do you feel? You feel bad. And when you feel bad, guess what happens? It's so easy to become negative, right? It's so easy to become negative. It's so easy to become negative, guys. And the reason why it's difficult to stay positive is because you're not doing any positive things. So your core focus, guys, should be focusing on all these things here, right? These 8 principles. If you want to get more sellers, if you guys can just fix all these 8 things, if you guys can just start focusing on these 8 principles, you will succeed in whatever you do. Anything that you do, whether it's cold calling, whether it's using AI, whether it's running ads, I wanted to give you guys a different perspective and a different blueprint, because if you guys can focus on this, I know for a fact that you will grow. Okay. Gone are the days of tactics. It's all about how can you fix yourself, because once you can fix yourself, you get to where you need to be. You don't have business problems. You have personal problems that's reflecting on your business. And if you can focus on these 8 core principles here, you will grow. All right. So to quickly recap here, all right, this is the game plan. Guys, you want to start learning more about understanding how technology and AI can help you time travel faster and quicker. That's literally it from the speed side. Once you guys can do that, you'll move a lot faster and quicker, okay? There's some tactical stuff that you guys can utilize here, just some things that you need to look into, all right? Stop operating at average volume levels, right? Success, guys, is abnormal. Start thinking from 10x. That's what you should guys be focusing on. That's what you guys should be focusing on from 2025, right? Success is abnormal. Start thinking from 10x. Stop operating at average volume levels. All right? The reason why you're getting average results is because you're doing average activity. When you start to do things from a 10x level, if you are cold calling 10 people, now you're cold calling 100 people, that is abnormal because most people don't do that. And that is exactly what you need. All right? Start building your personal brand that will create more relatable influence in your market. As I said, guys, remember, it's not about who is the best, it's about who is the most well known. All right? Start focusing on using the right vehicle to ensure you're on the right track and achieve your goals quicker. Guys, if you're cold calling, you can still get the same results as the other agent who's using AI. The only difference is that how long is it going to take for you to get there? A couple of years or a couple of months if you're using AI. All right? Stop looking at mindset as an optional thing to do. It's a non-negotiable. Look at fixing yourself daily. If you guys can fix this here, guys, not just only your skill sets, but your character traits and your beliefs, you will grow tremendously. All right? Stop hanging around people who are not where you want to be. Put more focused attention and awareness on the people around you and fix where necessary. As I said, guys, your environment is contagious. So depending on where you're at and who you hang around with, your life is literally the sum product of the people that you hang around with in your environment and the content that you consume. Okay, use compound interest as your ally instead of your enemy. Many of you guys get turned off when you always think about, oh, this stuff is going to take time. No, guys, if you focus on everything here, you will grow tremendously. Where do you think the term overnight success comes from? It's not overnight success, guys. That's compound interest. It took that person 6 months of speed, volume, attention, vehicle, mindset, environment for them to get that overnight success. But it took them 6 months to get to that point. Some people may take 12 months for them to get to that point. But the purpose here, guys, is to stop thinking short term and start thinking long term. All right. And then lastly, focus on stacking small daily wins, perfect days, perfect weeks, perfect months, and perfect years. What you want to do, guys, collect perfect days, collect perfect weeks, collect perfect months, collect perfect years, because when you do that, guess what happens? You have a better and a positive mental attitude. Because of your positive mental habits, you start to feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. When you do good, you rapidly grow. Anyways, guys, I hope this has helped. And at the end of the day, guys, any strategy works, but you really need to look at these core principles. My advice is every single month, watch this video in 2025, because you're going to forget everything. You're going to forget everything we're speaking about right now. I know, it's guaranteed. All right. Some of you guys might come here later next year and be like, damn, Wanili was right. I know, because I was just like you. So always make sure that you consistently drilling this video down your head. Take a screenshot of this if you need to. I'm happy to send you a template or a document of this, so you can always look at this every single time. This is your game plan, guys. Stop looking at the tactics and start focusing on this. Once you can focus on principles instead of tactics, you'll grow a lot faster and quicker. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.